Hey guys, it's the Quarantine Cuber, and today I'm going to be teaching you how you can get faster with the CFOP method. For starters, this tutorial is assuming you already know the beginner CFOP method, as I will now be teaching you how to solve the cube using CFOP in this video. CFOP can be a very advanced method, and it has been used to set multiple world records. However, you may be doing things inefficiently, such as rotating twice to solve F2L pairs or learning algorithms that start with both hands. The goal of this video is to teach you how to do things efficiently, and I'm going to teach you practice strategies that can be applied at basically any level. Trust me, I am guilty of a lot of these myself. So without further ado, let's get started with number 1. Don't make panic moves. Have you ever been in a situation where you want to solve a pair but you can't find the pieces, and all of a sudden you start doing this? That's what I would consider a panic move. It's a move that is completely unnecessary and inefficient, but you do it because you want to find pieces, where instead you should either just do one move to find both pieces you need, or you can just as easily deduce that that piece should be the correct edge. This also goes for panic rotations, where you want to solve a pair but you can't find the piece, so you rotate to try to find it. For both these situations, the best remedy in a competition solve is to stay calm and find the pieces, but as a practice technique, when you're doing a practice solve and you feel the need to do panic moves, stop what you're doing and don't make any moves until you're absolutely sure what you have to do. For example, if I got this case, I would wait and see that I have the edge that I need here and deduce that the corner I need is back here because there are no other orange and blue corners. Then I would solve the pair like I would normally do if I wasn't panicked. This also goes for panic rotations. If I wanted to solve this pair, well, first of all, don't, because there's another good pair. But if I wanted to really solve this pair, I would first know that the edge that I need's right in front, and then I have an orange corner here and an orange corner here. Are those the right corners? I don't know. Well, first of all, that one has yellow on top, so you know that's not the right one. And this also has yellow, so you'll also know that's not the right one. So the only blue corner left is this one, and sure enough, if you pair up the pair, that is the right corner, and you can insert it like how you normally would. Number 2, reduce regrips and rotations. This is a good practice during every step of your solve, but primarily doing F2L. If I have this pair, if I were a beginner, what I would most likely do is regrip down here to do more comfortable R, U prime, R prime. Not only is that completely unnecessary because my right hand doesn't do anything, but it wastes time because I have to reposition my hand, do the moves, and reposition it back. This is also true for the split case, where beginners would reposition their hand like this, do R, U with their index finger, and R prime. For both of these cases, the solution is simple. Learn better finger tricks. If I'm in this situation, there's absolutely no need for me to regrip because I can just do the U prime with my other hand, and my right hand has nothing to do with the U prime that I'm about to do. And similarly for the split case, I can do a pinch U like that, a push U like that, or a flick U like that, instead of regripping to do the pair. This also goes for rotations. If I would have this pair in a solve, most beginners would solve it like this. Rotate, pair up the pieces, rotate back, insert. Another example is this case. What a beginner might do is split up the pair like that, then pair it up like that, and then insert it. In both of those cases, the solution is to learn more ways to solve F2L pairs. For example, instead of rotating twice to solve this pair, I can simply do this algorithm. Similarly for this case, I can do this algorithm to pair it up. So basically, to reduce regrips and rotations, just learn more efficient finger tricks and solutions for different cases that you already know. Number 3, don't be biased toward a particular hand. If a beginner were to come across this pair, and assuming they are a righty, what a beginner might do is this. Since they are uncomfortable using their left hand, they would rotate to pair it up, then rotate back to insert it. This also goes towards preferring front slots over back slots. For example, if a beginner were to see this pair, they may rotate to solve it into a front slot because it feels more natural to them. For both of these cases, the solution is to get more comfortable with using your non-dominant hand and solving into the back slot. For example, in the first case I showed, you can just do this to insert the pair with your left hand. Similarly, you can do the opposite of what you would do for your front slot to solve this pair into the back. And just because I'm now comfortable with using my left hand and solving into back slots, that saved 2 rotations in my F2L. Number 4, plan your cross out in inspection. If I get a cross like this in inspection, where I have the red and green pieces 1 move away from being inserted, the blue piece on the bottom layer that's 1 move away from being 1 move away, and orange cross piece ready to be inserted in with an F prime, I should be able to plan a relatively efficient cross solution with as few moves as possible. For example, this. Instead, if I were to just look at where the cross pieces are and not know anything else, I might solve it more like this. Obviously, the second cross solution was more inefficient, and it was a lot more moves, and it took a lot more time to execute, and I had to regrip multiple times, which will affect with the flow of my solve and ultimately lead to a slower time. To start planning more efficient cross solutions, here are a few things to look out for. First, you don't always need to insert pieces into their correct color. You can insert pieces relative to each other and then align the cross later. Secondly, don't deal with the easiest cross pieces first. If I were to insert this orange piece first, then I would have to insert blue to blue, green to green, and red to red. Instead, if I were to worry about red and blue first as they are the farthest away from being in, I would first insert blue and then move red so it's 1 move away from being insertable. Then I can align the cross and insert both orange and red. Another efficiency technique is to insert multiple pieces at the same time. For example, if I were to insert the red piece with a sledgehammer and then insert blue piece, that takes a lot of moves. And instead, I could just insert them both at the same time, like this. So planning through this whole cross solution, I would first move orange over so red will be inserted relative to orange. Then I would combine inserting blue and red, and finally this green is there, so I would insert it across from blue and align the cross at the end. As for how to practice this is actually a technique that Brody the Cuber also mentioned in his video. Once you scramble your cube, plan out your entire cross in inspection, and then blindfold yourself or look away from the cube. Then execute your cross in slow motion, and then check that you've actually solved the cross. If you did, good job. If you didn't, then try again until you are able to consistently solve the cross without looking at it. Once you've done that, you'll be able to plan efficient crosses every time in your solves. And finally, number 5, learn good last layer algorithms. Remember my tip number 3 that I said? This is the one exception to that rule. In last layer, especially during PLL, you want to choose algorithms that heavily favor one hand over the other. For example, most beginners when learning PLL would learn this GA perm like this. They then see the GD perm and see that it is precisely the mirror of the GA perm, and do the same algorithm, but lefty. In fact, this is what I used to do until about a year ago, until I changed all my algorithms. Another example is when people learn the U-perm for the first time in beginner's method. They will use this algorithm, and they will get so used to it and never change. The solution to this, again, is to learn better algorithms. I know it's not the most exciting thing to learn a whole new set of algorithms and overhaul your set of PLL algorithms, but trust me, it's worth it. I've shaved off about 1.5 seconds off of my solves after just learning better PLLs. I have a whole video, in fact, of all of my 21 algorithms and how to predict their AUFs. And if you have some inefficient algorithms, I'd suggest looking at my video up there to learn better algorithms and especially how to predict their AUFs. So yeah, that's about it on how to get faster with the CFOP method. If you want to see more videos like this, click up here. If you want to see my latest video, click up here. And if you want to see the video that YouTube thinks you should watch next, click down here. As always, keep cubing at home, and see you next time.